Hello, we're the Rope Raiders, FTC Team 7129, coming to you with an overview of our Robot in 3 Days experience. Today, we'll be going over why you should do Robot in 3 Days, some tips and tricks for Robot in 3 Days, what we have accomplished during RI3D, and also just some general season overview that we have had through Robot in 3 Days.
So why do Robot in 3 days? Well, there are several reasons to do it. One is it allows you to get all of your team members to participate in the design process and getting to build the robots. Another one is being able to figure out what concepts and ideas actually work and what others don't, so that you don't have to go down that path later in the season. It also can help you with your new team to kind of figure out how your entire team works together. Next, we're going to go over some tips that we have learned through the past 2 years of doing Robot in 3 days. So, first one is start with a working drivetrain. If you start with just a simple skid steer drivetrain, you can focus the majority of your time on actually building your scoring mechanism, which is the main part of Robot in 3 days. Another one is keep your ideas very simple. Keep in mind the KISS method. Keep it super simple. And that way you can, again, spend more time on making that work instead of fine-tuning it to where it sort of works.
So the first prototype that we'll be going over is our beater bar. Very simple design. It is just an axle with rubber bands on it. The motor spins, it pulls in the glyph. Something interesting about this is that when it pulls in the glyph actually rolls in this way, and it is very difficult to collect a glyph using this mechanism without having it roll over.
The next prototype we're going to be going over is this large hand grabber. And so this grabs the glyphs like this. It's got a string on the back here wound up by a motor to pull in the two hands into place, so we can just drive up to a glyph. The motor winds it up, and then it can pick up the glyph and hold it pretty tight. This is also able to pick up 2 glyphs at a time.
And another prototype that we have is our spring-loaded Relic Recovery. And the way this works is that the string is wound up right here, and as the string is wound up, this opens up, we can drop onto the Relic, then pick it up, and drop it wherever we need. So for Robot in 3 days, we have a 13-member team. Therefore, we split our team up into 2 separate sub-teams so that everybody can get the maximum learning experience, as opposed to having the big fabricators, such as Jared and myself, do all of the talking during the design process, while some of the softer skilled members just kind of sit in the back. Now, on my team's robot that we have right here, I guess I can start out with the Relic Recovery. As we had seen in the prototyping phase, we have a very simple mechanism that can pick up the relic, and it has a little caliper that goes in and out. It drops onto the relic, then it dumps the relic over the wall. The second mechanism that we have is our glyph collection. This is a very simple mechanism. We decided to go with a 2-door system, but as opposed to using pulleys, we are now using servos that are mounted on the bottom right here. It clamps on, and then it will lift up, and the way that lifts up, we have jar slides and a motor that runs off of a pulley system right there.
Now we'll be talking about our robot, what we did with that. So much the same way, except we didn't do a relic mechanism because we didn't have time to do that. We focused on scoring glyphs and putting them in diagonally. We did this so that we could have a larger range of error for putting them in. It's still legal because it goes behind that front plane of the crypto box. So we put them in diagonally, and we also were able to hold 2 because it's a double height. And much like that robot, we have drawer slides that can lift it up, and just 2 servos to hold the glyph in place.
Alright, so now time for our general tips and experiences that we got over the weekend. It is very easy to knock over glyphs that are scored diagonally when you're trying to score on top of them, and in addition to that, these glyphs really do not slide well, and when they do roll over, they roll over very cumbersomely. When you're trying to score the relic, if you drop it as we do with this mechanism, it often bounces out of place and gets you off that scoring mat.
Another thing when you're manipulating the glyphs is challenging to collect them out of a large pile. So if you're trying to go in and have your 2-hand thing that's going to grab it, it's going to be harder to collect when they're stacked too high and they're all really close together like sardines in a sardine can. So it's going to be more challenging to do that, but it'll be interesting to see what teams come up with the rest of the season. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to check out our other Robot in 3 Days videos that we've made just about our process and what we've done here. And good luck to all the teams out there this year in the Relic Recovery season.